My name is Jessfinn. This is my administration of the IRI. The student I worked with was a boy named Wilbur. He is a 10-year-old boy in a 4th grade class. He attends a private school in New York City. He showed signs of reading deficits, therefore I administered the IRI in my classroom. I began with the word recognition inventory. He is in the 4th grade, so I started the inventory at a 3-1 level because it is 2 tiers below his grade level. He scored 5 errors here, so I moved on to the 2-2 level. He scored 1 error here, so I moved again on to the 2-1 level. He made 0 errors here, making this his independent level. I then began the oral and silent reading passages. I started at the 2-1 level because this is his independent WRI level. His scores in the oral reading were 0% errors and 100% correct. He read 1 out of 112 words incorrectly. During the silent reading, he scored 0% errors and 100% correct, making this his independent level. His decoding and encoding of words were accurate and his fluency was precise. At the 2-2 level, he made few mistakes. His scores in the oral reading were 20% errors and 80% correct. He read 5 out of 131 words incorrectly. His scores during the silent reading were 25% errors and 75% correct, making this his instructional level. During this level, his confidence remained intact. He struggled with decoding more difficult words, but it did not affect his performance and comprehension. At the 3-1 level, Wilbur experienced difficulty decoding words. He experienced the most difficulty at this level. Because of his decoding problems, it hindered his fluency of the passage. He had a hard time understanding the message of the passage. Because it was taking him so long to decode the words, fluency was lost and his comprehension scores suffered. He scored 50% errors and 50% correct in oral reading. He read 15 out of 150 words incorrectly. These scores made it his frustration level, so I decided to move on to the listening capacity of the assessment. At the listening capacity, I began at the 3-1 level. I read the passage to Wilbur. Instead of him reading it himself, there were no decoding errors because of this, and his comprehension scores changed from a frustration level to an independent level. Scores in the listening capacity were 10% errors and 90% correct. During the level 3-2 scores of listening capacity, he scored 25% errors and 75% correct. These scores made it his instructional level. I moved on to the level 4 listening capacity. His scores here were 35% errors and 65% correct. He was showing signs of discomfort, agitation, and frustration, so I stopped the listening capacity here. I therefore completed the IRI. The implication of the results of the IRI were he had weakness in the areas of decoding. There was a deficit in comprehension because of this decoding. He had difficulty reading double vowel words, such as words that included the digraph AU and the diphthongs AI and EI. He had difficulty with the short E sound, sometimes replacing it with a short A sound or a short I sound. He therefore needs repeated practice with vowel rules and exceptions to those vowel rules.